have been talking heat for the last few weeks, so this morning we want to talk about how to protect our skin from the sun. In our medical segment, we are joined by Dr. Tracy Ringo, who has her own dermatology practice in Garfield Heights. Dr. Ringo, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And we want to focus today on sun care for darker skin tones. A lot of times people don't know that even with our melanin, we still need protection. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, so people who have a skin of color or darker skin tones tend to think, and we were taught, that we don't need sun protection because of our pigmented skin is naturally protecting. But we do still diagnose people of color with skin cancer. And I recommend to all of my patients, because I do specialize in skin of color, I recommend that they wear sunscreen all year long, not just in the summertime, but all year long.
Because we know those rays can come through even on cloudy days, especially here in Northeast Ohio. So we know people with darker skins often shy away from sunscreen because it can leave that white cast. Have there been advances in formulas recently that you're seeing that you would recommend maybe?
Yes. So what happens is that the more of your mineral sunscreens that tend to have zinc and titanium in them can cause that whitish or purplish hue to the skin. So usually when I'm recommending a sunscreen, I'm testing it out on my skin and making sure that it's not going to do that. So the mineral-based sunscreens tend to do that more. So you want to avoid the ones with zinc or
Okay.
titanium.
Gotcha. And are there certain types of skin diseases that you see specifically in people of color that we need to be aware of?
Skin diseases. And yes, so in as far as from sun exposure, African Americans or skin of color are more predisposed to acrolentiginous melanoma, which most people don't know. And the crazy part about it is that it happens mostly in areas where there's no sun exposure or less sun exposure, like your hands or your feet.
So last thing, we want to talk about hyperpigmentation. What is it exactly, and how does the sun impact it?
So hyperpigmentation is when my patients come in, they are using a misnomer. They usually will say, hey, I have scarring. And I always educate them that hyperpigmentation, different from scarring, is reversible. So hyperpigmentation is an excess of pigment in areas that causes blemishes and dark spots where people don't want them. So it's really a cosmetic issue, and hyperpigmentation is reversible. Scarring is not.
Great advice. Thank you so much, Dr. Ringo, for joining us this morning. We appreciate your time and your tips.